Excellent. Let's slap some numbers.
This is number 215 of SlapperCast, y'all.
Good. I've been looking forward to this one in particular. All right. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one, kids. This is the one where we talk each and every one of you into something devious. So get a knife and fork.
Really?
Yeah. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, so we this week we're talking to the one, the only Chris Steele of O'Bannon's Taphouse fame, Blackwater Draw fame. And then also next week, we're going to have Turbo and Heidi on, and we're going to do the Paddy's Day recap. We got just so much happened, and it was so difficult to pin down, just in those moments that we had in the van and whatnot. There's just so much happening. So we're going to put that together. And yeah, like I said, we brought Chris Steele on immediately because we got him. It's like how do you hold a moonbeam in your hand? How do you keep a wave upon the sand? How do you solve a problem like Maria? Okay, so little soundy music reference there, kids.
All right, okay, who's starting off? Okay, starting up here on this side. You guys still have the release? You got it? Huh? When I say go, that's when you go. All right, okay. Are you ready? Here we go. On your mark, get set, drink.
There it is. She starts. She begins. How are you? How are you, Chris Steele?
I'm good. Still recovering.
Yeah.
It takes me. I mean, well, I'm getting older too. The older I get, the longer it takes to recover. But I mean, even when we started, it would take me 3 or 4 days. But now it's a good week and a half to really get over it.
But you don't sleep either. I mean, you get what, 4 or 5 hours a night tops?
No, well, that's like every day. I average probably about 5 or 6 hours. But Paddy's Day, like the day before, I usually get up early because I got to go pick up like the generator and stuff. So I go pick up all that, take it to the bar, and then they start blocking the street off. So we spend all day setting up, and then that night, we got a lot of equipment out there. So I'm not just gonna leave it. So I end up staying up. I stay at the bar all night, and I don't really sleep because it's Paddy's Day. So I'm awake for probably at least 48 hours by the time it's all said and done. But, hey man, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Man, that's the truth. But I tell you something, I really can't say enough about it. That's the reason why we're doing this today. The reason why we're doing this segment, and Chris, as always, we appreciate your time because I know what goes into just a bar. Forget family life and brewery and all that stuff. I mean, but just what goes into a bar. I mean, so we really appreciate your time. But this Paddy's Day seemed to be as smooth as I've ever seen you guys. I mean, you guys are always smooth. It's always a well-oiled machine, and this one just seemed to be the best run.
Yeah, it was. We got a really good staff there right now, and we never have enough staff. We don't have enough people that work there to run St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So we usually ask people that used to work there and already graduated, moved on, to come back and help, and then we usually end up having to hire just like a private security, or we ask employees like, hey, you got any friends who want to work for the day? And it all worked out pretty well. I mean, we had 3 of our old senior bartenders come back and help. 2 of them live up in Dallas. One she lives here, but she's moved on to another career. But they came back and helped, and then we actually were pretty lucky and fortunate to get some good people to help out that were just friends and roommates of employees. So it worked out, and our staff, they work a lot of hours that day, and luckily, our bar, we don't have a lot of problems. I mean, it's not a rough crowd at all. Like, there's never really any problems with the customers. It always works out pretty well. So it always surprises me because with that day, it is so busy and there are so many people coming in and out all day, and we never had any problems. Like, everybody's just real chill, having fun. They're just looking to have fun and not no riffraff.
I completely agree, and it was evident in the just the smiles. I mean, from AM to AM. I mean, it's just nonstop. They just everybody's happy to be there, and it was just the people that made it for breakfast just loved it and could not get enough. They just kept saying what a great time they had already that day, and some of them lasted through the I'll say the bulk of the night, but it was tremendous, and
Yeah, it was. We open it, early. We open at 7 in the morning, and we always have people coming in at 7 or maybe 10 minutes before. This year, the first customers, they started showing up at 6:15 to get their tables. Yeah, it was pretty. And then the night before was a huge storm. I thought that tent was going to blow down. It was really torrential downpour, and the wind was really high. The whole fence took off, like scooted over, and part of it was falling over multiple times. So I was shocked to see people still coming out that early. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, we had driven through it going to Longview. We played in Longview the night before, and going out there, it was starting to shake. And then once we hit Longview, the storm came down, and we were inside for again, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, tomorrow's going to be hell if this.
Yeah.
But it was
but it worked out. The weather. You couldn't have asked for better weather. The way it started the night before, and the looming forecast that we all watched by the minute leading up to it, and then it turned out to be a really beautiful day. So
yeah. The weather was perfect. As far as the weather goes, I could not have asked for a better temperature. I need 50 and below for what I do. and I was lucky enough to get a throat infection right before Longview. I mean, I woke up on Wednesday morning. I was like, oh, that doesn't feel good. And Thursday morning, I couldn't barely talk. So I had to scream, and we had to play again Saturday as well. I
was going to ask you about that. How'd that go?
I was miserable. It was really fun. It was actually a really good, and as Murphy's Law would have it, Saturday night I was still sore. Sunday morning, woke up, I sounded like Barbara Streisand. I mean, it was just every bit of my voice was back. It was just, I was like, where the fuck was that? It was but it's all right. I'm used to sounding like Barbara Streisand. It's just I don't look like her anymore. I'm losing the. I think, but yeah. So, but back to let me ask you this. Besides, obviously a success, and obviously like within millimeters of breaking records that day. I had forgotten, because I did predict that it was going to break all the records, but I had forgotten that it was Friday, and I thought that there would be a bigger contingent of day workers that would have taken the day off. Chad, when he had his 9 to 5 job, he took Paddy's day off just as it's a religious holiday. No,
yeah, it always falls, so a majority of our customers are A&M students. Yeah. And it always falls during spring break, but it doesn't matter because it's always crazy busy. They still either come back into town for Paddy's Day or they're still here. And then we get a lot of out-of-towners come. But, yeah, our busiest ever was, 7 years ago, when it did fall on a Saturday and the weather was perfect, and nobody's working. And this one, we were, within millimeters, like you said. It was right there, almost matching our busiest ever. And I think with the weather and everything, I take that as a win. I chalk that up as a win because, it could have been a lot worse. And, if they would have gotten scared away the night before, and the fact that they did have to work that day. And, because, after, you guys probably saw it after 5 o'clock when everybody got off work, it really just blew up. And that usually happens when it falls on a weekday. So, yeah, I'll chalk that up as a win. I mean, if it had been on a Saturday, we would have blown it out of the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And nobody has discussed this. We've nobody has discussed. But I'd love to break a little bit of news for 2024 here today on SlapperCast. I'd like to just kind of invite ourselves back to O'Bannon's for Saturday.
Oh, right. Well, so next year is a leap year too, so it's actually Sunday.
Sons of bitches.
Wow.
Yeah. But what we'll probably do is we'll probably do a Saturday and Sunday event and do both days. We've done that in the past, and it works out. It works out pretty well. There was one year, probably a decade ago or so, where we actually did a 3-day event. I'll never do that again. That was still gives me nightmares. That one was crazy.
Oh wow.
The leap years and the what is it? Because the publicans that I've spoken to over the years too have always loved when it falls on the Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, because it turns out to be like this big bonus day, because the weekend doesn't change. Right. So so having it on the weekday is actually it's sometimes a bonus. But for your event, I was just blown away. I'm still blown away at the amount of people that travel. And again, you're right. The weather did scare some people off. But it was lovely getting phone calls on Sunday and Monday of last week asking, "Hey, so what about Paddy's Day next year? Are you?" And I was like, because usually they wait, till like 24 hours before and go, "Hey, you're an Irish rock band. Why don't you come play?" And so it was very nice. It was very nice.
Yeah, but, that's and did you guys, the relay, that team that won?
Yes.
Those guys, so they won. That's their 5th year in a row that they've won, and they don't even live here anymore. But they come back every year just to hold their title. And for those of y'all watching this podcast who weren't at our Paddy's Day, this is a team of 4 guys who each drank a pint of Guinness. They combined total of, it was really 17 seconds. But they little penalty for spillage here and there. They got a 1-second penalty, so 18 seconds was the time for 4 guys total. That's fast.
Yeah, we're talking about the Guinness relay. That's the O'Bannon's Guinness relay, and so 4 guys, 17 seconds total to finish 4 pints of Guinness. And again, this is kind of like chugging a milkshake. I mean, this is not, this is not opening this is carbonated and thick, and, how many ounces? How many ounces?
20.
20 ounces. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was something to behold. That's inhuman.
Yeah. We were talking about Hoff. We were talking about Hoff, your former employee, and what a legend he was with downing those pints. And then I found, when I was editing that show, the last show you were on, I found footage of the relay from 2011 where he was competing on the O'Bannon's team, and you still have footage of him knocking one back, and you on stage going, that was fast.
yeah, he's on that level, 4 seconds.
But one of those guys in that team, I think it was in that team that you mentioned, just it was like over almost that quickly. It was inhuman. It was insane.
It looked like if he could have tilted the cup, more, he could have drank it faster. It was just gone, and it was just I don't think that you can empty out the contents of that thing as fast as, because he must have sucked it out as well. Anyway, that was legendary. So
I think the way we could make that better too is I think next year I want to kind of brainstorm on how to get those guys elevated, because they're down there in front, and the crowd in the front can see them, but the people in the back can't. But I don't want to put them on the stage because all your equipment's up there, and I don't want them stepping on stuff and spilling beer. So, we got to figure out a way to get them elevated up so everybody can see them.
No, we definitely need to do that, because I was thinking about this too. And again, this stuff we might not even put this in, but I was thinking about this too. I was thinking it might be really fun. Again, the reason why we're doing this so close to Paddy's Day is because we always love having you on here. We just love talking about the brewery, and O'Bannon's has been such a huge part of our, of Blaggards' growth and blah, blah, blah. But the camaraderie and the just the overall fun, I can't think of any other word for it. I mean, it's just people are in such a good mood. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking if we had some way to do some kind of interaction thing, because we have the video footage, the crowd, the war hymn, the singing back and forth, just the participation. And I just think that I was thinking if we could combine some way of like you said, getting the Guinness relay teams, insight to do that. We could do something temporary, have something on the side temporary, for them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, but I would like to do some kind of and again, I have not thought of this. I've only thought of just about the participation, but something like a lip sync kind of thing, or it's just something to where, because people are, Chad, you'll remember this. One year we were coming back from a break, and Mike McAloon, our old drummer, he's actually still pretty young, but he's extra. He was playing his iPod. He was kind of DJing as we were, getting ready to go. Well, he put the Final Countdown by Europe on. And we started kind of pretending to play it, like lip syncing to tape. The band was kind of playing it, and the crowd, it just kind of turned into this stadium feel to where they were kind of playing like the audience of Europe. It's fucking hysterical.
That's awesome.
And I was getting goosebumps. And because I was thinking about that too, because this is what I'm trying to explain to people. When they say, well, what you played Abandons last year, I go, yeah, well, this is why. I mean, it's light that fuse, and it just seems to be ignited the whole day, or it doesn't stop. And, we'll take a break, we'll go get something to eat, we'll come back, and it's like they didn't move. They refilled their drinks, but they didn't move. They're still there, and so that kind of stuff. But yeah, we need to do that. We need to expand on that, because I just think I really do. I can't get over how the overall feel of this festival is.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Ellen Reeves, our friends from College Station, she had suggested, and again, I don't know what this would take, but we have all that room behind us in the tent. She had suggested doing some kind of projection thing, to where there'd be like instead of behind it, it'll be a screen. That would be kind of cool to put, to be able to have, because we have kind of a very genius, Ellen. Actually, Chad, maybe if you cut this out and you can make it my idea, that'd be really good. But having all that real estate behind us, and we've been filming the shows because Heidi and Turbo are really stepping into their own. I'm sure you didn't get a chance to hear what we were doing on Paddy's Day because you didn't stop for a second. But our drummer and fiddle player are just setting shit on fire right now, and it's only getting better. It's only it's we're excited. We're recording. We're writing. All of us are writing. We're going to be writing together, and we are writing separately, and on and on and on. But now that Turbo and Heidi have seen O'Bannon's, it's kind of it's this is what we need to do, and this is the direction, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. I have a projector too, if you want to use it.
Yeah, I really think. I mean, think about the kids being able to watch the show, but also see themselves on the on the projection screen, like what I mean, behind us, and because apparently that tagging shit is a big deal, and
that could be the answer too for the relay too. If you get somebody to put a camera on those people,
very good idea. Yeah. Actually, there you go. That could work.
Yeah. Problem solved. But yeah, I mean, really, we could do a lot of damage with that. with that thing. But I'm just, like I say, I'm giddy, and we want to have you on here to talk about. So, is there something at the top of your mind? Is there something at the forefront that you would change right this minute that you for next year, or is there something that you want to?
Well, on our end, like what Steph and I have talked about, is just building something for the entryway. There's really 3 points of entry, but the main one that most people come through, it's kind of a clusterfuck there, and it's people going in and out and in and out. And so we'd like to build something with like an archway that's like, O'Bannon, St. Patrick's Day, just to make it more well known, like, hey, this is the entrance.
I like that.
That's just kind of like something that we've started talking about this year. When we were setting up, we were like, we should do this next year. But outside of that, just the biggest thing on our mind every year is who's going to play. So if you guys are already committed to coming next year, that's great. That's a relief. That's a weight off our shoulders. We can start to plan around that now.
Yeah, well, I was really thrilled to hear that the AC/DC cover band, who are they? Hell's Bells?
Hell's Bells, yeah.
Hell's Bells. I know they did a tremendous job, and because of a miscommunication, that's how that one got away. But at the same time, I'm glad that they came out and did it and did a great job. But without sounding, mean or anything, but it's our fucking gig. So no, I kid. It's just, but seriously, we just love it there, and we're just, and the other thing is too, here's the other thing. You've not only helped grow Blaggards, because we play there God knows how many times a year, but our rapport with not just the Aggies, the locals, we've got to meet some just fantastic people from around there. Yep. And they kind of sit with us throughout the year, and we get to come back and do that. I think it's a match made in heaven. I really do. But I just wanted to get your take on the event itself, but all those ideas too. I'd love to, man. I'd love to come up and take you to lunch, take you and Steph to lunch, or hell, all of us. I'd love to come and brainstorm with some of this shit, because it's to me, it's I just talking to the people that travel. College Station's a gimme. I mean, people in the vicinity are there. What else are you going to do? You're going to go to that shot bar and listen to rap. It's just, there's 4 people in there, and 3 of them are employees. So we have so much to offer. I mean, O'Bannon has so much to offer. I would just love to kind of take a big swing at this. I was, talking to you after Paddy's Day as well about, some fencing ideas and just on and on and on. But I just love to kind of streamline this shit to have it to where it's I just want to make this as big as it possibly can be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, I'm excited. I think it always gets better. I mean, I think we've done the street festival now. This was our 13th year, and pretty much every year we get a little bit busier.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a couple dips. It can dip a little bit depending on what day of the week it is. But being a Friday or Saturday obviously helps, or a Sunday. So I think it's only going to get better. I think next year is going to be killer. We've been doing it for so long, and we've only ever had one year where the weather was just horrible. I think y'all were playing that year. It was like 35 degrees. The wind was blowing. It was so cold.
Yeah.
And every other year, it's just been really nice. So we were, this year we were due for, what happened that night before and all that. We were due for a bad weather day. So I think that's behind us now for probably another, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah. Well, for anybody listening as well, too. So it did get chilly last, on the night itself, and Chris had told us, to announce. That was very cool that you did the hot chocolates and the Irish coffees behind the bar outside, and that was also a big hit too. So just if you are considering 2024 O'Bannon's Paddy's Day celebration, just know that rain or shine, trademark, hot or cold, no matter what it is, we have, it's literally covered. Everything is, it's going to be, so now we get another swing at breaking records. And when I say breaking records, I want to say that 2024 is going to just annihilate, and no excuses. So that's my prediction for 24.
I agree. I think we can do it.
I do too.
Yep.
I'm more than excited about it. So, what you got, Chad?
I was going to ask, while we got you here, is there anything new going on at Blackwater?
Well, just playing around with different beers and gearing up. Usually things in this town slow down over the summer, so we're just going to use that to play around and start gearing up for the fall. Fall is our busiest time of year because of we got beer out at Renfest, and then of course we got football season here in College Station, and then there's that Santa's Wonderland on Highway 6. So we drew all the beer for them.
Right.
And they sell a lot of beer. It's a good thing for us. Right? It is definitely our busiest time of year is about August through January.
So there's anything you're brewing during this period that you haven't done before? Is sort of an experiment.
We just put out a cold IPA. We've never done a cold IPA. We've just got we're playing around with different flavors. We have a sour series called No Way Goze. It's a goza. It's like got sea salt in it. And so we've done like a pomegranate one and a blackberry one. And so we're doing different flavors of those. And then we've got a cream ale that we've been playing with. We did a peaches and cream, and right now we got a strawberries and cream.
Wow.
So right now we're just playing around and really trying to keep up with Hazy Lady. We talked about that on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hazy Lady is gone. I mean, as soon as we make it, it's gone. We carry it at O'Bannon's obviously, and half the time I'll keep running out of it because it sells so fast and the distributor runs out, and I'm trying to get over here to the brewery to get more kegs, and sometimes I'm lucky, but like right now it was in the fermenter and we just kegged it yesterday. So Steph actually kegged it yesterday. So right after the podcast today, I'm gonna go in the cooler and load up some kegs and take them over to O'Bannon's.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that beer's on fire. Beautiful.
What about nitro coffee? Have you ever thought about that?
We have a nitro Irish cream right now, stout, and we have done nitro versions of our coffee porter. Yeah. Our contract killer. We've done nitro versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
Nitro coffee itself, no, we haven't.
Yeah, where were we? There's somebody who gave us a nitro cold brew somewhere that we played, Patrick. It was years ago.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering that.
Yes.
It looked like a Guinness when they handed it to us. But I can't remember where that was. Yeah,
we need to get you on that too. I actually probably don't need to get you on that because I'm now your neighbor. I'm now closer to you than I've ever been, and that might be detrimental. But I mean, seriously, if we can, if you guys can give us an hour or something, you and Steph, we'll take you out to lunch. I think we should just put pen to paper and have take a swing at next year.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Listen, I thank you for your time. I know that you're just up to your eyes, and we're so grateful to you and to Steph and to the whole crew. That was our gang left like coke addicts. I mean, just cannot wait to do that again. It was phenomenal.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Well, right. I will do this again too. But like I said, we love having you on. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
No problem.
For that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
30.57. You're in second. You missed it by the 30.4 is the time to do it. So close.
Yeah, so we grabbed him when we could, and now we're going to do it again with the, So there will be plenty of time to kill songs and whatnot next week with the kids. We will be killing songs today. I never did look that up, Chad. I need you. Can you look up that? Oh no, you did. You looked up that song.
Oh yeah, let me. I've already forgotten the exact name.
I did too, and I appreciate you doing that because I
have been Googling about you.
Yeah. I've been thinking about you.
I never would have guessed this.
Yeah, nobody would have guessed that. What we should do is say, "Hey, does anybody?"
Yeah, okay. Just making sure it's right. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Glas and Lunderbeat. It's London Beat. Glas meaning or KLAAS and London Beat.
Yeah.
So maybe it's London Beat. Maybe it's just London Beat. Oh, hello, Gangie.
Control yourself. There's people watching. This is not the time to get sexy.
Not barking at me now, are you?
Mm-hmm. You bet, girl. You bet. Anyway, we were saying yes. So that was the song that I'm going to kill. We were in a wonderful place called Kima, Texas, and that music is it music though? Is it really music, or is that like some alternate Chinese torture device? I mean, it was just torture. I mean, I've been thinking about you. I mean, it's just terrible, and it repeats and it repeats and it repeats and it repeats, and it's like Staying Alive, you can listen to over and over again because the Gibb brothers were just getting down. But anyway, so that's a kill. That is a kill, boys and girls. That is an absolute kill. But you know what song? It definitely falls in the disco thing. But one of my favorite bass lines in a disco song, which is difficult to do because there's so many good bass lines.
Yeah,
Disco Inferno. What a killer fucking bass line. So that's the kill.
What the bass line is in that one?
Huh?
What is the bass line in that?
I was just such a killer, just like kind of that just slap and pop kind of. It's got that killer. The Jungle Boogie as well, the one off the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Yeah. That's a killer bass line, but just so many great grooves and just. I'm not even crazy about the vocals on Disco Inferno, but I just love that. There's June Narnia, probably one of the funkiest, smoothest, just killer bass players walking the planet right now. I would just love to hear him do. He does these great videos on YouTube, and worth every second of it to go check some of those out. But I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about you. We better just set fire to the tape. This is awful. But I was thinking about how he would deliver that song, how he would play it, and he's just so effortless and just such a pocket player, and but just such a great. I'm not crazy. Like I said, I'm not crazy about the vocals, but I just love the structure of that song. I think it's beautiful. So that was a quick kill and a quick shine light on. Do you have yours ready to go?
Yeah. This is another entry in my Crowded House harassment series.
Oh.
I've killed 2 songs and resurrected 2 songs off the first record. I'm going to skip over their second one. I'll get to that. I'll get to the second.
They had more than one song? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Their second album, which is Temple of Loman, I still think is their masterpiece. I don't think they've done a better album than that. There is one song I could kill off it, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to jump ahead to the third album, Woodface, which is a peculiar album in just that they were briefly experimenting with having Neil Finn's brother Tim join the band. Tim Finn, who they were together in Split Enz before Crowded House formed about 10 years earlier. And the way it happens, I understand, Neil and Tim got together and they're going to do a Finn Brothers record, which they did eventually get around to. But as they were working on it, somebody said, this feels like it's more like Crowded House why not just make this a Crowded House record? And everybody said, yeah, let's get Tim in the band. So Tim joined the band, and they recorded this album called Woodface, and then they went on tour. And a little ways into the tour, Tim changed his mind and just left in the middle of the tour. And I saw that performance. Yeah, it was, it is a good album, but it wasn't his band. It was his brother's band. So by the time I saw them on that tour at the Back Alley, which is also where Patrick and I saw Tin Machine a few nights before this, or I think it was the same month or the same week or something. Before we knew each other, we were both there to see Tin Machine, and Crowded House played sometime around that same time. And it was actually a really, really freaking good show. They seemed, as I know from our own experiences in bands, where it feels like we've cut ballast from the lineup, and we're like, we get able to just do what we do and not have to worry about, unnecessary baggage we have to tote around with people who are difficult to work with, or whatever the situation was. That's how it kind of felt. I'm not sure what the situation was between Tim and Neil, but they were really just totally throwing themselves into it. And then Neil grabbed the mic at one point and jumped out in the audience, and he was like going around handing the mic to fans and stuff, and just being like, he was like freaking Bruce, like a miniature Bruce Springsteen. He's short, but it was a really good show. But anyway, so Woodface, it's a very long story. Woodface was their biggest hit album, I think, at least in the UK. It was a huge, huge album, and they're all the songs are great. But there is one on here, actually a couple on here, that I'm not that fond of, and this is actually one of the bigger hits. Weather With You. Everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. I'm not fond of that song.
Good.
And they're really flowery lyrics on it. The lyrics are actually kind of interesting, but I played this album for my dad, and he kind of pointed out something that this is kind of why I'm sick of the song. It's like, he said, what do these lyrics mean? My dad asked me this when we were driving around listening to this record. What take the weather with you. What are they talking about? I said, I don't know. He said the song means nothing. It was annoying him, and he was only hearing it for the first time. So I'm going to divert your attention to another song on this album called "All I Ask," which is one of the songs that Tim Finn, the aforementioned Tim Finn, sings. But it's like, it sounds more like a something that Nat King Cole might have sung. A very lush string arrangement on it, and you could almost imagine like somebody like Frank Sinatra, definitely Nat King Cole singing it, and it's just very sweeping and dramatic, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then again, it is kind of a deep cut that you're not really going to know unless you hear the record. And tune in next week when I'll harass Crowded House at least once more. This is going to go on for a while.
I thought they had like 3 songs, and I hated 4 of them. But yeah, so we had an interesting day today, Tuesday, which was your Sunday. We had a celebration of life for our friend Davee Bryan at Molly's downtown. Eamon graciously sent his A-team down there to man the fort, and downtown has changed quite a lot, even in the few years since we played. Well, like downtown.
For a mid, we showed up there around noon or whatever on a Sunday, and it was really kind of hard to
jumping.
Hard to find a parking spot, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. And also, we need to do something about our homeless. Story for another day, but Jesus, that place downtown Houston is in peril, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we had Davee's widow Carol and Missy, Davee's daughter, in for this, and just reconnected with a bunch of people that we haven't connected with in some 20-something years. Back from the Richmond Strip days. And if you were around Houston in the early to mid 90s, the Richmond Strip was the place to be. It was the only spot, not the only spot, but essentially the main spot for live music and, bars that you could essentially walk from, to and from, different locations and whatnot. It was quite a time. And we reconnected with a bunch of people today in Davee's honor, and got to hear Chad sing, singing solo today, which is great. And Keith Michaud, our friend from Florida that came in, Davee's, he's like a mini Davee. He's the he's just a carbon. I mean, of course, he was a singer-songwriter, way before he met Davee, but he and Davee became so close. I see Davee in his playing. I hear Davee in his singing. I just a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day. And just to touch base like that. So very, 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 very heartwarming, very, very, very and inspiring day too. We, Chad and I spoke on my way back to the wilderness, spoke about some ideas that we have going forward. After that were spawned, this very day. I talked my way into a gig, as the kids call it. 25 cents.
Tuning.
So the second song we learned was an Irish guy named Ron Kavanagh who did this song, and Davee loved it, and he sang harmony on it like I've never heard before. Just like a bird. We don't give a damn for your border. We are future. Take it on to your prayers. Oh yeah, these are the Irish ways. Calling me home again. We're close, we're good, we're good. Oh yeah, yeah. These are the Irish ways. Calling me home again. I've said it on here before. If you're lucky enough to have good friends, people that you enjoy. Don't take them for granted. It's that was one of the things. I went to see Davee on his deathbed in Florida, and he was telling me, not only with his words but with his eyes and his mannerisms, don't wait, don't, you just, tomorrow's not guaranteed, and we really do know the value of friendship. Chad and I, more than anything, we've been through some major changes and ups and downs and whatnot, and I still hate that motherfucker. But apart from that, yeah, it's okay, Chad. No, but it's we really do we do understand the weight. We understand the the aforementioned June Narnia, and Jay Holland, and these people that we've come across in our life that have just become just huge pieces of our our history, and and Chad and I were talking about Chad, elaborate on this too, please. But we were talking about how our stage etiquette, our stage habits, running cables, wrapping cables on and off the stage, before and after, all this stuff. Although we have made our own, we learned a ton of this stuff from Davee Bryan, and it was just a very, very, very. Today was an emotional day. We had a whole different show planned for today, and because of this, we kind of beelined, and it
was something that Cindy Haywood said that made me realize what you just elucidated about. Obviously he taught both of you. I mean, both you and I. He's taught us both a lot about performing and just being a professional musician. But I had forgotten about all the little stuff because he is, as Patrick pointed out first, in this conversation we're having sitting at the table there at Molly's Pub downtown, that how meticulous Davee was with just little things too. Like he would get lost as he's getting ready to leave somewhere. He would be arranging things, and then he seemed to, right? I mean, kind of get just kind of lost in the details almost for a few seconds or a few minutes or whatever. But he was very meticulous about the way he would load in and load out of the shows. And he had a very set way of doing things. And so it was like when I was sort of essentially apprenticing with him when I did the acoustic shows with him that I did almost 20 years ago now.
What was the name of the duo?
It's the second time today he's put me on the spot. Under the Covers.
Yes, live and in
Shall
person.
Live forever in infamy.
Yeah, Davee and Chad, Under the Covers. Wink, wink. Anyway,
but And this is the Davee quote that I always, this could have been the name of a book if Davee put out a series of books on performance and musicianship. He could have called one of them "First In, Last Out," which was his rule for where the guitars go, the loading order for it. And it doesn't matter what kind of gear you have or how much gear you have. If you're playing guitar or bass, you take those in first, and then you take them out last. Meaning you want to leave as many eyes on them as possible at every moment. And we have almost always obeyed that rule in the 19 years that we've been doing this band. Almost without exception, that's true. You'll see that the instruments might be the last thing to leave the stage. It's not always. I mean, there are some exceptions. It depends on the complexities of the loadout or the load in. But
line of sight.
That is a very good line of sight. Yeah, that is a very good rule of thumb, because you do not want to let those things out of your sight, because they're very easy to pick up and run away with. And they're also easily recognizable by thieves. They may look at some of your other gear you have and go, not even know what it is or what it's for. But everybody knows what a guitar is.
Yeah.
So you keep a close eye on that damn thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everything. When I thought about that, it brought me peace of mind and kind of made me tear up a little bit. It's like, God damn it, he's with me like every step of the way. That we've been doing this, and will always be. Yeah. So, and
then hearing him in the music today, hearing his the bootleg recordings and the stories and the pictures and the and the aforementioned Cindy Haywood, she has been on our show before. She has actually written her own book, which is phenomenal. She's done a lot of work on mental health and whatnot. She's quite an incredible woman, very, very full of art and music and intellect. A wonderful, wonderful friend, and a very interesting episode too. We really should follow up on that. We've swore we would, but life is getting in the way. Yes, that was tremendous. It was really, really, really quite and it was actually a shock too, because we played in Kemah on Saturday all day, all night, kids, all night. And they had said, Carol and Maggie and Cindy, Missy, Ned, Nancy, Keith, Kerry, they'd all said that they were coming down to Kemah to see the performance. Well, they told me that, but it was also the time that I was gifted one of Davee's Strats, which still I can't even, it's sitting beside my bed. It's on a guitar stand beside my bed. It's not leaving there. I mean, anyway, apart from that. So on the night that I was given that guitar, said, Davee wants you to have this. I was like, fuck. They also said, oh yeah, we'll come see you in Kemah. Of course, I didn't hear any of that. So we're playing, and I see these people. And I'm going, that looks a fucking lot. So freaked me the fuck out too. We played with Jeff Duncan. That was a ball. That was an absolute blast.
Yeah,
just really was. It was a long day. Chad and I got down there at 11 a.m. to set the sound up for the whole day. We didn't leave till 11 p.m. We were in direct sunlight all day, which is just what Chad loves to do. It's his number one favorite thing ever to do. Besides, but he did get the chance to smear mayonnaise all over himself. So he was just, he was that BLT looking thing at the end of the day. It was like, God. But yeah, really fun day. And then again, very wonderful and shocking and nerve-wracking to see all that crew, Davee's crew, essentially, because knowing that the next day, Sunday, we were going to be at Molly's doing the celebration of life, knowing how heavy it was going to be, and the beautiful words spoken about him, and the song, and the tears, and the pictures, and the memories, and just the full day of Davee, Davee, D-A-Y-V. It was. I'm still very, very shaken by it, because it was it is a life changing moment, and of course, our friendship with Davee is it's in our blood. Essentially a brother. Just that the enormity of this day cannot be expressed. At least, of course, I can't. You probably could, but I can't put it into words. And I'm just so moved by this day. This is a tie-dye rose. That was
cool.
Yeah, Missy. I actually have one of Davee's tie-dye shirts, but I have it in a frame in my studio because it's never going to be, it's going to be, it's just, I don't know. It belongs in a frame, and it's, and Davey's going to be with me when we create our new music and whatnot. So big day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we, like I said, we're we're going to do a recap of the Paddy's Day, and I'd love to get Keith Meashot in here too, and do just kind of bounce stuff back and forth, because Davey spent a lot of time here, and he had a lot of friends in this town, and he left his mark on Houston, and but that's Davey.
I was really amazed to hear that because Keith sang several songs, and he got up a couple times to sing, which I was very glad he did that, because he came a long way. And I also hadn't heard him sing since last time we were in Lake Worth. Not last time, but 15 years ago, when he invited us to crash his gig. We just met him. Patrick and I had just met him for the first time, and he invited us up in the middle of his show to play a few songs, which we did. It was Patrick, myself, and Chris Buckley. But today, Keith started off with, he didn't introduce it, so I didn't know what it was until later when I asked him. But I know he said it after he was finished. After he finished the song, he said what it was. And it was a song that Davey wrote that I'd never heard before, and it was gorgeous. I'm trying to remember what it was called now. It was something about the working man.
Money in the Cookie Jar?
Money in the Cookie Jar? Is that what it was?
There was no money in the cookie jar. I mean, I thought that was I didn't get the name of it either. I don't know. I don't believe he announced the name of it, but it was there's no money in the cookie jar. There's no.
Oh yeah.
Jangle of the Jeans, but it had a very Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Very, very, very kind of that Rust Belt. To me anyway, it sounded like that 70s kind of working man. So it was what's a working man to do? I think
that's right. There you go.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But the chorus was,
it's one of several songs. I mean, I don't know if Davey ever got to record that one. It's like the other one.
He doesn't. He did. That's what Keith was saying, that they don't have a real recording of it. But I think he's got enough to actually put something together where he could.
Good.
But yes, so something needs to be done with some of these stuff. That's what we were talking about today on the way back, on the way on the drive home. I just, I believe that we've not only are you and I huge Davey fans, but I just believe that we could really, put a little bit of our, just put a little bit of our spin on some of his, some of his work. And it's class. I mean, he's just an incredible, not just an incredible person, but just a phenomenal player. So, but I think we should let you enjoy our time with Chris Steele, and
yes,
we'll revisit Paddy's Day with the gang and show some clips.
And this, for those of y'all watching in the present time, this Friday we are back in Humble. Or Kingwood, I should say, at Molly's Kingwood.
Yeah, this is going to be an earlier start too. We're going to shoot for 8 p.m. I would just say, if you're going to attend this show, there's no cover charge. It is a private club, so you do have to sign in to get in, but there's no cover charge. And thank you, Eamon, and thank you, Jeff. But I would get there early. I would get there 7:30. Get yourself. They've got great sandwiches, great pub sandwiches. I'll get the club, no pickles. Extra no pickles, and P.S. fuck pickles. But yeah, the club is out of this world with the jalapeno chips. Yes. God, now I'm hungry. Fucking cut. Let's go eat. But yeah,
I really want to title this episode "Fuck Pickles" now.
Or that could. Actually, we could start a new band and just call ourselves the Fuck Pickles.
The Fuck Pickles.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
But but I would definitely get there early because it's a great room. It's a really fun room to play in. We're very, very excited about coming back and doing this. It's a great crew. I get so excited to go and see that gang because everybody that works there, cook, barback, bartender, waitress, every single person in there, whoever they have at the door, big smile. Everybody knows what the fuck's going on. It's a great room, and it's a great Irish. They just really appreciate the Irish rock in that room.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Molly's too, we were graced by the presence of Cinnamon from Old City Pub. She was working the bar upstairs today.
Well, she's worked there. She's worked with Blaggards.
She took the job because she knew we were going to be there, which I was very touched to hear.
Yeah.
So and we hadn't seen her in several years.
Yeah, just like all the other Molly's employees, she does not stop. She's just she's a whirlwind, and she did the whole day on her own. Nobody wanted for anything, and she's just brilliant. We love her.
Yep. Thank you, Cinnamon.
Yeah.
And thank you, Eamon.
Yes.
Once again.
And Mike Daly.
Yes.
Always, everybody says Eamon because Eamon's the politician. He's always out at the clubs, and he's out.
Yes.
Mike does as much work as Eamon. Mike's just not in front of the camera. We shall say.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're incredibly grateful for all of you, as always, especially our Patreon crew. Thank you very much. And it was lovely meeting a lot of you over Paddy's week too, as well. We met a lot of our Patreon crew at the shows, and thank you. We got some great shit coming up as usual. Yeah, please enjoy our conversation with Chris Steele. And if you ever find yourself even close to College Station, please stop by O'Bannon's, see what we're talking about. Better yet, go to both that and Blackwater Draw, and just Chad will actually. We really should get you, Chad, to give a tour of the beers in Blackwater Draw because he's a huge fan.
I will not offer much resistance to that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend like go during the afternoon and like spend the afternoon at the brewery. You get some food and try all the beers, and then go to O'Bannon's to close that out. It's a great pub to go to. I mean, any time of the day, but that's the order I would do it.
Yeah,
since O'Bannon's I think is open later anyway. Yeah. But that's a great place to wind up the night. Yeah, any night.
I know Larry's in the car right now. Wait, Larry, wait. So, all right,
y'all. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for listening.